The Benicia Amateur Radio Club is proud to present I Passed the Test. Now what? There are 6 parts to this video. First is an introduction from Ross, W6RSS. He will talk about the program and what you can expect from the rest of the program. Some of the chapters will have QR codes, which will link to more information. If you are watching this on the Benicia Amateur Radio Club's YouTube channel, there are links in the reference section below. You can also ask questions by email. Send your email to elmers@beniciaarc.com. The Elmers will periodically review and answer those questions to the best of their ability. We only hope to give you the minimum basics and not to overload you with complicated information. We also hope that this will help and inspire you to learn more. So relax, get some popcorn, and enjoy.
Welcome and congratulations. You passed the test. The hard part is behind you. But now you might be asking, what next? That's exactly why we're here. I'm Ross, W6RSS, and this presentation is all about helping you take those next steps and truly become a ham operator, not just a license holder. So why are we doing this? Our goal is to help you get on the air, build your confidence, and discover how amazing this hobby can be. You're at a fork in the road. Freeze up or step forward. We're here to make sure you step forward. Passing the test was just the beginning. The real adventure starts now. Stay engaged, get on the air, even if you make mistakes. We've all been there. One of the best parts of ham radio is the community. We're always here to back you up. Plus, we've included handy printable links and QR codes to help you keep moving forward. Most importantly, have fun. Okay, a few warnings. You may find ham radio creeping into your DNA. It's addictive. You'll start identifying people by their call signs rather than their names. Sleep? Who needs it when you're chasing a contact across the globe at 3 a.m.? Your vocabulary will morph. You'll talk about QSL cards, propagation, and SWR like it's normal. And best of all, you'll make friends, some of them for life. Consider yourself warned and officially welcomed. Let me tell you something personal. The 2 guys in this photo, they're not just fellow hams, they're 2 of my closest friends. Gerhard, Delta Kilo 5 Sierra Zulu, lived in Marbach, Germany, near Stuttgart. He was the very first German ham I ever contacted. And Jan, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Charlie, lives in Valberg, Holland. Over the years, they've become like family to me. That's the kind of connection you can make in this hobby. You start with a CQ, and sometimes it leads to a lifelong friendship. You want to build your own equipment? We've got that. Want to hike a mountain and call from the summit? That's Summits on the Air. Want to experiment with satellites, talk to the ISS, or even bounce your signal off the moon? You can do that too. Ever tried Parks on the Air or POTA? It's one of the fastest growing activities in ham radio. You take your gear out to a state or national park, set up under the trees, and start calling CQ. Other hams across the country are waiting to make contact with you. It's fun, it's portable, and it gets you outside. Ham radio isn't just a hobby, it's a playground. It grows with you, it challenges you, and it brings you into a global community of smart, kind, and curious people. Here's the amazing team that helped bring this together. We're a mix of Elmers, tech nerds, emergency comms folks, and good old-fashioned hams who believe in sharing knowledge and building community. We're part of your network now. Here's what we're covering today. Real, practical stuff you can use immediately. We'll show you how to find clubs, choose your first radio, get on repeaters, connect with an Elmer, a mentor, and start making contacts. These are the tools to move from just being licensed to active and confident. Welcome to ham radio. You've already taken the first step. Now let's make it meaningful, exciting, and full of discovery.
Congratulations on becoming a licensed amateur radio operator. You're joining a vast community of curious, skilled, and generous people who are here to help you learn and who have paved the way before you. Welcome to this exciting and dynamic world. The best way to get started is by finding your people. How can you connect with others who share your passion for this hobby? There are many ways to get involved. You'll find national and local clubs and organizations, as well as specialized groups focused on specific activities. There are also events called hamfests, where hams gather to socialize. Amateur radio isn't just about radios and antennas, it's about people who use them. You can share your contact information on the internet platform. Let's look at where you can plug in. National clubs are a great place to start. The ARRL, originally the American Radio Relay League, is a leading organization supporting amateur radio since 1914. Acting globally, the ARRL collaborates with the international groups promoting amateur radio worldwide. Another national group is the Young Ladies Radio League, YLRL, established in 1939. It empowers women in amateur radio through education, skill development, and camaraderie. Bringing things closer to home, there are numerous local clubs to explore. The ARRL offers a club finder tool to help locate clubs affiliated with the organization. When I searched for clubs near Benicia, California, with zip code 94510, I found 26 entries. The Benicia Amateur Radio Club is a well-known local group operating the KB6 EOC ham station and the KR6BEN repeaters. They provide essential communications resources. The club fosters community through weekly nets, monthly meetings, and a commitment to amateur radio's spirit of learning and connection. The Mount Diablo Amateur Radio Club, MDARC, operating with the call sign W6CX, supports Northern California hams with a range of repeaters while also sponsoring an automatic packet reporting system, APRS, node. The club engages members with weekly nets and hosts Pacificon, the ARRL Pacific Division's annual conference. Additionally, MDARC is active in public service. The North Bay Amateur Radio Association, NBARA, established in 1947, supports amateur radio in Vallejo and American Canyon. Operating the K6LI repeaters, they provide essential communications for local operators and emergency services. The Martinez Amateur Radio Club is a small and informal but yet passionate club. It is dedicated to mentoring new hams. Specialized groups like the Military Affiliate Radio System, MARS, and the Salvation Army Team Emergency Radio Network, SATERN, demonstrate the versatility of amateur radio. MARS supports military communication and preparedness, while SATERN provides disaster communication when infrastructure fails. In Solano County, hams support emergency preparedness by participating in ACS Insert. There are also special interest groups. One such group, AMSAT, focuses on advancing amateur radio through satellite and space operations. Another is the Long Island CW Club, which specializes in teaching Morse code. Together, these groups showcase amateur radio's diversity from mastering code to exploring space, inspiring operators to grow and connect. Hamfests bring amateur radio operators together to connect, learn, and explore the latest innovations in the hobby. Events like Pacificon in October and Hamvention in May showcase cutting-edge products, educational workshops, and unique activities such as fox hunting and live operating stations. CPAC, held every May in Seaside, Oregon, and Hamcation, hosted every February in Orlando, Florida, are major hamfests that celebrate amateur radio. Both events highlight the hobby's diversity and foster collaboration among enthusiasts. The International DX Convention, held every April in Visalia, offers hams a chance to learn, connect, and explore advancements in DXing. Similarly, Sonoma County's Valley of the Moon Hamfest provides a community-focused gathering for exchanging ideas and building connections. So, how do people find you? QRZ.com is a global directory for ham radio operators connecting hams across borders. Creating a free account allows you to locate your call sign, edit the details, and establish ownership to prevent unauthorized changes. Let's shift focus and look at some of the many exciting activities available to licensed amateur radio operators. The possibilities are vast. With your license, you unlock the door of a world of learning, connecting, and discovering within the ham radio community. Parks on the Air, POTA, combines amateur radio operation with outdoor exploration. Launched in 2017, it challenges operators to activate designated parks by making 10 contacts within a single UTC day, using any bands and modes allowed under their license. Field Day is a highly anticipated amateur radio event, offering opportunities to operate off-grid, demonstrate skills, and engage the community. The Summer Field Day, sponsored by the ARRL in June, features 24 hours of continuous communication and teamwork. Winter Field Day, held in January, adds challenges of cold weather, emphasizing preparedness and fostering camaraderie year-round. Participating in amateur radio contests adds excitement and challenge by connecting with as many stations as possible. Technician license holders can join 10 meters, VHF and UHF contests sharpen skills, encourage experimentation, and foster global connections within the vibrant ham radio community. AMSAT promotes amateur radio in space by advancing satellite operations and fostering innovation. With 28 active Oscar satellites and amateur radio aboard the ISS through ARIS programs, operators connect over long distances and inspire real-time communication with astronauts. In essence, your license opens the door to endless opportunities for discovery and learning. It serves as your gateway to explore beyond repeaters and uncover the vast possibilities within amateur radio. Take full advantage of this chance to connect with fellow operators and learn from their experiences. Broaden your horizons by trying new modes, activities, and challenges within the community. Most importantly, embrace the spirit of curiosity and continue to grow and explore every day.
What's next? Hello, my name is JB NR5NN. Now that you have a license, you need a radio. This is a hobby where you can spend a little or spend a lot. You need a radio and an antenna. A handy-talkie, or HT, has both. A pretty good inexpensive is one like this Baofeng, or BTEC UV5R. It is a decent performing 2-band radio with antenna. There are easily more than 100,000 of these just in the US alone. At one time, I had 4 of them, but have given all but one away. A little better radio with more features is this Quansang K6. The main feature of this radio is it is firmware upgradable. Depending on which firmware you choose, it can do a lot of things. And it has a USB-C rechargeable battery. An even better radio is this 3-band Baofeng that adds a 1.25 meter band. It is also USB-C rechargeable and is also firmware changeable. And it has double the power output over the previous 2 radios. And you can get really silly with this very expensive Kenwood TH-D75A, somewhere in the $700 range actually, with a long, remarkable list of features. About the only thing this won't do is make you a cup of coffee in the morning. Most of these radios come with a 6-inch or 70 centimeter 2-band antenna like the one shown on the bottom. It's a quarter-wave antenna. It is perfectly okay for 70 centimeters, but not quite as good on 2 meters. A better dual-band antenna, especially on 2 meters, is the 19-inch antenna shown on the top. We call these antennas rubber duckies because they're pretty flexible. The name rubber ducky is a colloquial term used humorously to describe these antennas, which are designed to be compact and easy to use. Many joke about them, but they actually work quite well. You can purchase different or replacement antennas in different sizes and band coverages. However, be careful which connector you have on your radio and match the antenna to your radio. More about that later. A pretty good external antenna for HT or mobile or base rig is this magnetic mount. Put it on the roof of your vehicle to go mobile, or on a filing cabinet or cake pan or cookie sheet if you need better coverage indoors. Bob, W6RBF, sometimes puts one of these on a metal folding chair out in his backyard to participate in some of our nets. You must again be careful which connector you get on your antenna, but if you get the wrong one, you can get adapters. There are several mid-price rigs like this one. This particular radio is packed with a lot of features I won't go over here. And this is a sample of a really good, fairly expensive, high-end car radio. It has a removable front panel that really helps with mounting it in a car. If you use these radios in your home, you probably need an outdoor antenna. This is a typical 2-band, 2 meter 70 centimeter antenna. Surprisingly, you can purchase these at Home Depot. To connect your radio to the outside antenna, you need a special type of cable that transmits radio frequencies, coaxial cable. Typically, this cable costs about $1 a foot. Here is what coaxial cable looks like. It transfers RF energy from the radio to the antenna. As I mentioned before, you have to be careful which connector you get, or use an adapter. Thanks, and 73 from JB NR5NN.
Repeater use. Why you want to use a repeater, and how to do it. Simplest of all modes is simplex mode. It's a line-of-sight communication between two radios. Receive and transmit frequencies are the same, like a walkie-talkie. You're limited by Earth's curvature, though, to 6 to 7 miles maximum, unless one of you is standing on top of a big hill. So, say you're in the city. Now you have a problem because buildings absorb the signal. So do hills, for that matter. Simplex will only work in very close proximity under these conditions. So how to fix it? Well, duplex mode, using a repeater, is how we get around these limitations. Here you need a line-of-sight communication to the repeater, and the repeater receives on one frequency and retransmits on a second one. Greater distances are possible due to the fact you're relaying the signal, and because the repeater antenna is generally on tall building, tall hill, it has some height to it. To use that repeater, you will trigger it using a subaudible tone, or one that you can't hear. So where are these repeaters? Well, there are multiple lists. Two of the better ones at repeaterbook.com or narcc.org. The repeaterbook.com is also available as a free phone app and is a great resource when you're traveling. The narcc.org list covers Northern California. QR codes with your smartphone will get you there directly. We also have a repeater here in Benicia. Our primary repeater transmits on 442.75 megahertz, receives on 447.75 megahertz, and is triggered with a PL or CT CSS tone of 100 hertz. The offset is plus 5 megahertz, which is the difference between the two frequencies. So how do you access the repeater? First, set your handy-talkie frequency to the repeater output frequency. Set the frequency transmit offset and direction, and set the PL tone frequency for activation. If you have it all set correctly and are close enough, holding the push-to-talk or PTT button will capture an idle repeater. Many repeaters will beep or self-identify at the end of your transmission. There are a few tricks for using the microphone on that HT, though. One of which is understanding where the microphone is. And the mic is behind a small hole on the front of the HT. You want to speak normally and speak across the microphone from about 2 inches away. So now that you've got it all working, what do you say now? Well, always listen first. Only one at a time can use the repeater. And if you're calling someone, their call sign goes first, and then yours. If you're just listening, wait for an idle moment, see your call sign, and then monitoring. That way others will understand that you're ready for a conversation. You just don't have anything to say right now. If you just want to talk to anyone, say your call sign and then radio check. Just about anybody who's listening will give you a response to that. When you're finished speaking and have released the PTT switch, the repeater will beep to let the other person know it's okay to speak. In a group situation, it doesn't hurt to release a PTT button momentarily after you start to avoid doubling with another. FCC rules require identification by call sign at the beginning and at the end of every conversation, and every 10 minutes therein. So if you're having trouble, join a club, participate in their nets. Everyone started out where you are today, and most will be quite happy to help you along. Listening is your friend. Some nets are purely social, others are highly structured. Follow the example of other participants. Practice makes it all easier. There's a structured net every Monday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the Benicia repeater. Details are on the Benicia Amateur Radio Club website, beniciaarc.com. And there's a QR code for your smartphone. If you're really getting into this and you're having an involved conversation on the repeater, and you're able to reach that person directly using simplex communication, move to a simplex frequency to avoid tying up the repeater. Remember, only one person can use the repeater at a time. Consult the band plans for particulars. The 70 centimeter band, for example, has a very limited simplex allocation. You may want to try 2 meters instead. The band plans for each can be accessed using the QR codes on the screen. Also, if you're a technician, you will have single sideband privileges on the 10 meter band between 28.3 and 28.5 megahertz. This generally requires a more substantial radio and antenna, but if you have one, jump into the 10 meter social net every day at 10 a.m. on 28.393 megahertz. And if you have the radio, feel free to listen to the GOTA nets Monday nights at 7 p.m. The details, as the frequencies change weekly, are on NR5NN's QRZ page. Again, QR code here is your friend. If you're having trouble being understood talking on that HT of yours, try moving to another location. It may improve reception. Make sure the HT is in your hand. The antenna works better this way because your body is really the missing half of the antenna. And use a phonetic alphabet to get across critical information. The one most commonly used around here follows. It's the ITU phonetic alphabet. That's all for repeaters. For information about programming your radio, see the following QR code linked file.
In the world of amateur radio, getting started can feel overwhelming. Between antennas, licensing, and equipment choices, where do you even begin? That's where an Elmer comes in. A seasoned ham radio operator who mentors newcomers and helps them get on the air with confidence. But how do you find one? Start with your local ham radio club. Most communities have a group of active operators who meet monthly, run repeaters, or host licensing classes. You can find clubs through the ARRL website, local bulletin boards, or even by asking in an electronics store. Walk in, introduce yourself, and don't be afraid to say, "I'm new and looking for guidance." Next, listen to local repeaters. Scan the 2 meter or 70 centimeter bands and note where conversations are happening. When you hear a friendly net or roundtable discussion, check in when they open the frequency. Say your call sign, mention you're a beginner, and ask if anyone would be willing to chat or mentor. More often than not, someone will step up. You can also find Elmers at ham fests or license exam sessions. These events are full of experienced operators who are happy to share stories, advice, and even equipment suggestions. Don't hesitate to strike up a conversation. Elmers appear at the moment someone shows a genuine interest. And remember, an Elmer doesn't have to be a single person. You might learn logging from one, antenna theory from another, and digital modes from someone else entirely. The key is to stay curious, ask questions, and show that you're eager to listen.
Finding an Elmer isn't about luck, it's about community. Show up, and before you know it, you'll have someone or several someones helping to find your voice on the airwaves.
This wraps up our program. I passed the test, now what? If you've got questions, we've got answers. You can send your questions to Elmer at beniciaarc.com or just drop them in the YouTube comment panel below. Our Elmers keep an eye on those questions and will post regular replies so you will have the support you need as you get started. We try to keep things simple, focused on what matters, so you can build a solid foundation without getting buried in too much detail. Our goal is to help you grow, explore, and discover just how much fun this radio journey can be. This project came together with the help of many Elmers, not just the ones listed here. You'll find the full table of contents in the YouTube info panel below. This has been a production of the Benicia Amateur Radio Club, Benicia, California. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. Please note, all are permitted to use this video, but alterations or revisions are not allowed. This is John, AA6ZT, for the I Passed the Test Now What team, and the Benicia Amateur Radio Club, wishing you all the best on your ham radio journey.